Hey, this is Ben Heine with Zombiestrategic. Today we're going to be learning how to field strip an 870 Remington. It's one of the most prolific and common shotguns you'll find in America. So on Zombie Day, when you come across a shotgun, most likely it's going to be an 870. It's really easy to do, it shouldn't take long, and this is one of the best ways to make sure that your weapons are in working order and they will function when you actually need them to on Zombie Day.
Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is make sure that it's not loaded. If the weapon has not been fired, then it won't let you charge it unless you depress the slide release. So you push that down, it's right in front of the trigger, and that will let you charge the weapon. Look inside, make sure that you can see the magazine. The end of the magazine is going to be orange or black, and you'll be able to see that in there. Make sure there's no rounds. Look inside the chamber, make sure that that is empty. Then what you do is you take off the magazine cap, you just unscrew it, and that'll pop out. That releases the barrel, comes right off. Alright, the next step is you take out the trigger assembly, and that's held in with these two push pins. You can pop those out with a nail or pliers or anything that's kind of sharp metal. Sometimes they're in there pretty good, so you just pop them. I'm using an Allen wrench. So you pop both of those out, and then your trigger assembly will come out. Just wiggle it a little bit, and it'll pop off. So the next step, there's a little lever right here on the right side, or the left side of the weapon. You're going to depress down so you can release the insides. So you push that towards the outside, and that releases the rest of the assembly. And then you can take your bolt and slide off, and your foregrip comes apart like that. So it's a pretty simple weapon. Then you can get inside, make sure all that's clean. And the last thing, to take apart the magazine, you just press this down against the spring, rotate it 90 degrees. That allows it to slide out. And then, as you can see, there's kind of a groove on both sides of this. One allows it to come out, one does not. So keep all of this clean, and you'll have a well-functioning weapon on Zombie Day. Don't take this apart any farther unless you really know what you're doing. This is something that an armorer would do. So you just wipe it down, keep it clean, keep it lubed, and it will function the way it's supposed to. Alright, reassembly is just the opposite of the way that we took it apart. So the magazine goes back together, down the magazine tube. Push that in, make sure you rotate it back 90 degrees, otherwise it'll just keep popping back off. You take the forearm, and the slide fits right on those grooves. You can't put it on backwards because it won't fit. So the slide goes right there, and the bolt goes right on top of it. And you slide that over the magazine tube into the weapon. And just like we had to depress it, those little springs, when we took it apart, you got to depress both sides this time to get it back in. One side it's in, it locks back in place, so it can come back out. You take the trigger mechanism, slide it back inside, replace the pins. Sometimes they're a little rough going back in. Like that. Put the barrel back on. And one thing when you're putting the barrel back on, if it's locked out all the way, it won't let you do it. Get it in there right. So pull the forearm down a little bit. Put the barrel back on, and then the magazine cap just screws back on. That doesn't have to be super tight, but just lock it down so it won't go anymore. Then functions check. Make sure it's unloaded, which obviously it is if you just took it apart. Alright. Double check safety.